This is the grand i10 NIOS facelift, and if I were to tell you that the only thing new here are the bumpers, that would make some of you happy, but most of you would be a little bit bored. So let me tell you this, the front of this now looks a little bit like... It looks a little bit like Pikachu if only the car was yellow and these new DRLs were red. New because sometime in the last 2 decades, all humans suddenly decided they wanted their cars' lights to be turned on in the day. Strange, but since you're human, you already know what I'm going to say next. This is a very minor facelift. Think of it like how the S model used to be for the iPhone. If you already own a small or premium hatchback that's less than 3 to 4 years old, this isn't for you. This is for people who are already on the lookout, and since most people are out looking for SUVs that are warped, jacked up hatchbacks that aren't very pleasing to look at, the i10 NIOS is for those who still prefer the old school hatchbacks. Of course, it's not old. There are redesigned taillights connected by a light bar that doesn't light up, new alloy wheels, a new spark green color, and that's about it when it comes to the styling. Inside you get new upholstery, a leather wrapped steering wheel, and a couple of extra features. Number 1 is auto headlamps, a feature you only truly appreciate once you start to live with it. And number 2 is that USB-C port, so you can charge your phone quicker. That port is literally only for charging because it's the Type A port you'll use for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on the 8-inch infotainment display, which is the exact same as before. What isn't exactly the same though is the speedo setup with a central MID, so you can see your tire pressures and exactly what temperature it isn't outside. There are also rear AC vents, so now your kids have something new to fight about, which direction they're pointing in. Wireless charging, so your phone can be juiced up and burning hot at the same time. Keyless entry, so you can forget the key fob in your pocket even when you put your jeans for laundry. Cruise control, so your right foot can take a chill pill for precisely 37 seconds until you need to brake again. And a boot with enough room to store your check-in bags and your carry-on luggage at once, but not your entire families. Under the hood is the exact same 1.2 litre petrol engine, known not for its speed, but its smoothness. You have to really rev it hard to get a move on, and even then, it's a little bit boring to me and probably will be for you as well. But for newer drivers and those who don't take the racing line through life, it is enough. Especially for the city where also the option of an AMT makes a lot of sense. Newer drivers can also take advantage of hill hold assist, the compact size of the i10 which makes it easy to park, the rear view camera, and a range indicator. The range indicator is useful because this isn't the most fuel efficient engine. You can expect a real world figure of about 12 to 14 kmpl, which isn't too bad. Thankfully you can opt for CNG, but what you can't opt for is the turbo petrol. That's gone. It's gone. They killed it. And there's no diesel either. What you do get is 4 airbags as standard, 6 on the top end, but that's not charity. It's something we'll see on pretty much every car before the compulsory 6 airbag rule comes into play. If you're interested, and you should be, the pre-facelift i10 NIOS scored a pretty average 2 stars in the NCAP crash tests. The i10 NIOS then isn't that fast, it isn't super safe, and it's not very different from the NIOS that existed before it. So who is this car for then? I'll put it simply, if you're looking for a small but premium hatchback, the i10 NIOS makes a lot of sense. Looks can be subjective, but the build quality is objectively good. There's lots of useful features, and unlike any of its rivals, it doesn't feel cheap. But then the Tata Tiago is safer, the Swift drives better, The Citroen C3 is funkier and the Tata Punch is safer, roomier and has a better ride. All this means that at a price range of rupees 5.68 to 8.55 lakh, the i10 NIOS is a great car, but not a perfect one. Thank you for watching PowerDrift. I'm your host Karan Singh, and let me know in the comments below which car you would pick if you had 9 lakhs to spare.